Welcome to the Popcorn Effect, the podcast where education, leadership, and innovation come together to spark powerful change. Just like popcorn bursts into something greater, we explore ideas, stories, and strategies that transform the extraordinary into the extraordinary. So whether you're an educator, a leader, or an innovator, this is the space to ignite creativity, challenge the status quo, and lead with purpose. Tune in, get inspired, and get ready for a poppin' good time as we hear from innovators, inspirational, and passionate educators who are creating the popcorn effect wherever they go. I'm your host for this adventure, Sandra Donahue, and we are going to meet our first guest and a leader in creating the popcorn effect. She is the embodiment of everything that education needs to create thriving school communities. She's an innovator, a creative genius, a school culture guru, and my co-author and friend, Melissa Powell. Welcome, Melissa. Oh
Hey,
my
Sandra.
gosh. So great to have you here. And as I was thinking about so many of our conversations, you have shared so many kernels and pops with me over the years. And today I would love for you to share maybe a little story or a favorite memory of a time in which, you were inspired or somebody heated up that oil in you. And maybe it's created some sort of a long-term lasting effect with you.
Absolutely. When I was a kid, I didn't always want to get into education.
Right.
That came later in life, but the experience that I always remember, and I don't remember a lot about like specific teachers, just a few of them. There
Right.
was one teacher in grade 9, taught grade 9 religion actually, and she just was the most compassionate and empathetic person. Really let us into like see a side of her that normally you wouldn't probably see with teachers, and listened to us. And so as a grade 9 student, that's unusual for a teacher
Mhm.
to like really take that much interest in you. So that experience really stayed with me because when I chose education, I always remember that grade 9 teacher and how they made me feel. And that was my focus, is to make other people feel the same way.
Oh, Melissa, thank you
Yeah,
so much for describing the popcorn effect, right? Because
exactly.
it's those lasting memories, those things that make us feel stuff that we can't put in a child's backpack, stuff that you can't, sort of send home in a different way. But those are the things that we keep near and dear to our heart.
Yeah.
And speaking of things that are near and dear to your heart, you have so many passions. I have spoken to you about so many different things, but a lot of times you speak about things like mentoring, leadership, school culture, student voice, student engagement. But
Mhm.
what would you say is sort of maybe your current educational passion or focus?
Definitely maintaining a positive school culture. That is
Mhm.
huge to me. I love when people come into my school building and say, "Oh, it's just got this like feeling, this beautiful
Yeah,
vibe to it." And I'm like,
right.
whenever I hear that, I'm like,
Yeah,
yes,
I know.
whatever we are doing, not just
You're
me, I'm
like, pop.
what
Yeah,
we are doing in this building
yes,
is working. And so it's having impact on the school community, the kids, the teachers that walk in there, the visitors that walk in the building. So that school culture piece is incredibly important to me. And you only get there through focusing on relationships, being compassionate and listening, and all of those things that that grade 9 teacher taught me. Um, that's how you get there. And really, for me, especially at the beginning of a school year, is focusing on that school culture and setting the tone for the year ahead.
And do you use anything to kind of
Mm.
create that? Do you have a little nugget or kernel you'd like to share?
I always look for inspiration. So all administrators, all educators use the month of July to just like decompress. And so trust me, I do that. But because I'm in these like Facebook groups and like social media things, and I just look like I'll walk in a store and be like, oh my gosh, there's a theme for the entire year. Like you look
Yes,
for inspiration in the people around you, in the places that you do, and the experiences that you have. And
right.
when people plant those little nuggets in you, you're like, I can do this and I'll run with it. And so something is, for example, I was in a Facebook group for it's called like principles motivation or something like this, or some
Nice. Yeah.
theme like that. And somebody had mentioned that they were going to do like a rock star kind of theme. And I'm like, oh yes, this is for me, because last year
Yeah.
I did like a Lego theme. I was in a new
Yeah.
school community and we were just going to be rebuilding.
Building.
And so
Yeah.
with the rebuilding kind of theme, I thought, oh, Lego, and we took it from there. This year, rock star theme all the way. And as you know, there can be so many things you can do with a rock star theme. I even have a
Yeah.
bulletin board full as I walk into the school with all, I actually incorporated a little bit of AI this year because
Oh, look at you.
I did, because I wanted to let educators experience AI, and I want it to be a teaching lesson, because all the teachers sending me their little AI rock star pics are like, oh my gosh, I look so older, I look so different. And there's learning in that because
Yes.
AI contorts and manipulates. And so
Right.
there's lessons in that. So I'm going to jump on that our next PD session. They don't know that yet, but it's
Yes.
all purposeful. So there's,
Right.
yes, there's that fun theme, but
Yes.
there's all connection. And I actually bought drumsticks to go with our
Okay.
theme this year. It's like a
Yes.
little like back to school gift that I'm going to give them.
Nice.
But that was inspired by a video I saw by Clint Pulver on YouTube. It's called Be Mr. Jensen. You guys have to look it up, because if
Right.
you want a little bit of inspiration, that is what we want educators to do, is be those Mr. Jensens in all of our kids' lives. And so I'm trying to be the Mr. Jensen in my staff's lives. So that's where I find that kind of like inspiration-y little thing, and I just go with it for the year. So that'll be our theme for the
Right.
entire year, and I'll find some connections along the way.
So clearly that has heated the oil over
Oh,
there.
how can
And
you tell? I'm like,
I know, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear about all those pops and to watch them in action. But maybe you can do rapid fire,
okay,
maybe like top three pieces of advice to
okay,
leaders, educators, students.
sure.
What would Melissa, the rock star, share in terms of those advice pieces?
First and foremost is listen. Take the time to listen. People are going to come in and want your 5 minutes. Excuse me. Give them your 5 minutes, because
Right.
that's how you make connections and relationships. So focusing on making those relationships is very important. Getting
Beautiful.
involved is my second
Yes.
one. Don't
Yes.
be in your office. Don't be in your own space. You need to be
Right.
present for everybody out there. Be seen, be known, be in their face. So that I don't want any kid to go home and say, I don't know who my principal is, or I don't know who my,
Exactly. Yes.
they need to know Miss Powell is out and about and excited and all of this. So definitely that, and focusing on the relationship. So even student to student relationships,
Yes.
very big on educator to student, like find
Yeah.
that thing you can connect with that kid, and draw it out with them, and always go back. Like, I know you're a hockey player. How was your game this weekend?
Yes.
I know you played in a recital this summer. How was it? Like, make those connections with kids and focus on those relationships. And like I said, like I want people to leave, like staff, saying,
Mhm.
oh, I worked with Miss Powell. I would work
Yes.
with her. And
Again.
people saying, oh my gosh, you're so lucky to have worked.
Yes. There you go.
Mhm.
Beautiful
Mhm.
segue into maybe what's that final message that you want to deliver to our listeners to keep them popping, and maybe a little bit, where can they find you?
Yeah. Energy. Bring the energy, even on
Bring
days
it. Yeah.
when you don't have the energy. This week, going back into the building has been
Yes.
difficult, all the management piece. But
Yes.
as soon as I see a little kid coming in to visit, look, and I even got goosebumps right
Yeah.
now, because it's exciting to me.
Yes.
And all that other stuff that gets in the way, push it
Right.
aside, because the focus is on the people, that the reason why you chose to go into education,
Yeah.
why, like the kids and all of that. So bring the energy is what I say. Where
Well,
can
I'm
you
a big
find me?
fan of that.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Where can you find me?
Yeah.
On X at Melissa Powell. We're on Instagram at the
Yeah.
Popcorn Effect too.
Yeah.
And on our website, which we're gonna put our website down at the bottom.
Yes. Oh, for sure. We will have the website. And is there anywhere else that maybe people could hear a little bit about the popcorn effect?
100%. You need to get this book. If you like some of the idea, like the ideas I just shared with you today are
Yeah.
not even in this book, because because it's
Not
just like
even.
popping, popping, popping.
Yeah.
This will serve as your inspiration to pop you off and go on your own tangent. But this is like our passion project, our little
Yes.
embodiment of ourselves in a book. If you could do that, I don't know.
I don't know, but we're
I
trying.
can't contain her on pages, but
Yeah.
we have. So use this as an inspiration to your year ahead. And I'm very, very thankful for this opportunity, Sandra. You're my person.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your kernels with us today and keep on popping. And don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on YouTube and on our social media. We're on X, we're on Instagram, probably soon to be on TikTok. And keep your oil heated. And until next time, keep thinking about what's your next pop.